Thank you guys for registering for this first webinar, especially for those who had confidence in us and believed that our webinar was going to come up and you were anxious to know exactly what we had to deliver. Thank you for joining me. We tried going on Facebook Live and I think we had some technical glitches, so I'll allow that to be running whilst others take care of that. And to begin with the live webinar for today, I'll use this opportunity to introduce myself formally to most people who have been my friend on Facebook for quite a long time but do not know me too well. I can just tell you a few things about me. Okay, now for my personal information, most of you have it as Everest the Good Shepherd on Facebook. Well, that's the web name, and if you want to address me by my actual name, you can always call me Elijah. Elijah Newman is my name. For those of you who would be wondering, why is he calling himself Elijah Newman? Well, my name changed about 15 or so years ago, so if you want to know why, you can inbox me and then I'll be ready to explain all that to you. Okay, now when it comes to my background, with work-wise or business-wise or profession-wise, I am an IT guy, a network systems administrator by profession, and currently I work as a network system analyst. So that is what I do as my main source of income, but I have so many side hustles as well, which along the line I'm going to explain to you guys what I do on the side to make extra income. To be successful in this life, you need to work extra hard to be able to get some, other sources of income. All right. Now, before we begin this live webinar, please, for the past few weeks, I've been posting on my Facebook page that this quiz is what will grant people free airtime to the network of their choice, and that what are the two elements that generate income for all businesses all over the world. I mean, right here, you can comment, you can also give your answers on this day. After today, we'll not take any answers again. So if you're watching me live now on Facebook or you're watching me live on webinar or on Zoom, you can provide us with the answers and you stand a chance to win free airtime to the network of your choice. Yes, the question is, what are the two elements that generate income for all businesses? Yes, I see someone is asking the question again. All right, not to waste so much time, let's dive into the main business. The main business for today, for this live webinar, is that there are ways to make money in Ghana without your own capital, and that is why we have to go live for the first webinar to be able to explain a few things, not too much into detail. If you want to know more, what you have to do is you have to contact us and then we can explain it to you as we move along. All right, now, when I say ways to make money or ways to generate an income without your own capital, it comes with a caveat. And the caveat is that there are people living in Ghana who feels they are okay, all right? And for that matter, this is not for everyone, okay? There are people who think they are okay, they are earning some salaries, they are earning some income, and do not need anything to do with what we are about to tell you in this live webinar, all right? So it's not for you. This is just for people who are struggling to find jobs and people who also have jobs, but they find it very difficult to live within their income, or they find it very difficult to make ends meet. This is what we're trying to do to help people with those situations. That if you're finding jobs, if you have a job that you think your salary is not enough to be able to take care of your expenses, then you're about to be exposed to ways of making some extra money for yourself. All right. Now I can go on and on with the way some people feel in Ghana, but I just want to cite one example, okay? There are people who do not respect, some amounts of money in Ghana. There are people, if you're about to give them even 10 Ghana cedi today, they will tell you, what do you want them to do with 10 Ghana cedis? Meanwhile, they don't have anything. We've been organizing free airtime and giving people free airtime, and some people, there's one guy who actually contacted me and said, why do you think you have to give people free airtime? Do you think we cannot buy our own airtime? I said, no. We're giving it out not because of you in particular. We're giving it out for those that value, money, for those that value smaller bits of gifts. Okay? If I give you 10 Ghana cedis free airtime, that doesn't mean you are poor. That doesn't mean you're poor. It's a gift. So you either take it or leave it. Okay? So there are people who do not respect smaller amounts of money. But if you're part of those people, if you're watching me and you're part of those people who have the mentality that, oh, what is 50 Ghana cedis? Oh, what is 100 Ghana cedis? All I'm here to tell you is you are a big fool, because counting does not begin from billions, or counting does not begin from millions. All right? Before you get to billion or before you get to a million, you count from 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So for those people who have been disrespecting small amounts of money, that is why you forever be broke, and that is why you're going to remain broke till you die. Okay? People who become successful in this life respect every bit that comes into their life. Okay? All businesses, you see people go into the stores. There are people who go to buy, maybe $5 worth of goods and then leave the store. There are people who go to buy $100 worth of goods and leave the store. All these are the monies that add up to make them rich or to make them successful in whatever business that they do. That is why most businesses don't play with all customers. The customer who buys $1 is as important as the customer who buys $100. Okay? So guys, learn to respect money. Okay? Learn to respect money. Do not act like a fool when someone offers you a smaller amount of money and then you act like, what are you going to do with it? Meanwhile, you don't have it. So let's respect money. And I can go on and on. Just like schooling. How many people started schooling from the universities? How many? How many people started schooling from universities? They have to start from the nurseries to the KGs and go to the primary, to the junior highs before they go to what? The senior high and get to the university. So in this life, it's a process. Everything is a process. For those who do not believe in the process, they are the people who always go in for some of these shortcuts, and at the end of the day, what happens? They end up finding themselves into trouble. Do not believe in any kind of shortcut. I'm not the type of guy who would show you any shortcut to making money, because I never knew one. I never knew the shortest way to become rich. All I know is there are processes that you have to go through to be able to become successful. And if you do not go through them, you will forever remain where you are. Generating an income is a process. Every giant in the business world today started from somewhere. So if you keep waiting, if you keep thinking, when are you going to get to that top, and you do nothing about it, you will never get there. Everybody needs a start. And this is why we are here today in this live webinar, to teach people how to start. Okay? Thank you so much. I see more guys joining the Zoom and more guys joining the U webinar. Thank you. Thank you for joining. All right. Now, in advertising for this webinar, I mentioned that there are 7 ways to make money or to generate an income in Ghana without your own capital. But it's very, very interesting. Before this webinar, I have resolved to reveal only 3 ways to be able to make money in Ghana, because just like the Bible says, do not give that which is holy to people, because they will walk over it and then go after you. So there are 7 ways that I was supposed to mention in this live webinar, how to make money in Ghana, or how to generate an income in Ghana through legal or through proper ways. But for the time purposes, I think I would be able to mention 3, as my editor talked about. Mentioning all the 7 will make the video very boring and it's going to be too long. So I'm going to give you 3 ways you can make or generate an income in Ghana without your own capital. And what you need to do is, if you want to know more, or if you want to know the additional 4, you can always reach us on buiness.com by filling the contact us form and telling us that you did listen to the 3 ways of making or generating an income in Ghana without your own capital, and you want to know the rest. If you want to know the rest, all you have to do is contact us through buiness.com, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through the rest of the ways. Now, with the 3, I'm beginning with the first one, okay? The first one is exchange your time for money. How many hours have you spent in this life that did not generate an income for you? Have you sat down to make this analysis? All right? Exchanging your time for money simply means that offer some kind of service for a small fee. The service industry is over $1 trillion city industry sitting down, waiting for people to take advantage of. If you do not know it, you would not be able to take advantage of it. So we walk people through, if people are willing to do some kind of services for people, for them to be able to generate an income, we can tell you hundreds of them. There's a lot of them lying down there, and most people are not using. A few people have taken advantage of these services in Ghana and are making money. So what are you doing with your time? So that guy asks how many hours of your life that you could have used, how many time of your life that you could have used to earn an income, but you didn't know. Every blessed day you wake up from sunrise to sunset. And especially the graduates walking around with their fat CVs or resumes, hoping that they would get employed. The sad thing about jobs is that jobs are going away. There is no hope for jobs. Jobs are rather diminishing. Jobs are rather going down. So if you sit there and think that one day there's going to be a company that will hire me because of my knowledge, that will hire me because of my expertise, you'll be making a big mistake, because you're going to wait for a very long time. Most companies are going into automation where computer does everything, and they do not need so much human intervention. So when you keep thinking that jobs are going to come, you'll be behind the 8 ball. It's about time you start thinking about doing something. And one of the ways is to exchange your time for money by offering some services for small fee, okay? When it comes to money making, all right, there is no such thing as being shy, because when you look around, most of the people who get themselves dirty are the people who make the money. True or false? Most of the people who become very dirty every day trying to do something to earn an income, they are the people who make the money every single day. Okay, so there are people who are shy to do some jobs. For example, I can mention one like painting. Some of you are able and strong enough to be able to paint a whole house, both inside and outside, for a fee. But you know why you will not do it? You will not do it because you think, oh, painting is for some kind of or some class of people. Do you know how much money the guys who go around painting people's homes and houses, do you know how much they are worth? They're worth, millions of cedis. So if you do not know that such an industry is very lucrative enough and you're still waiting to go and sit in somebody's office and put on a tie just like I did, I am privileged to do this because, I worked my way to be able to, sit in a suit and, talk to you. But you are strong enough to be able to do some of these jobs to earn money. The same energy that the other guy is using, you have that same energy. It's just that you're not putting on your thinking cap to know that you can also do this by simply offering this kind of services to people and make some money. Okay, so some of the graduates are also sitting down and thinking that they are smart, having first degrees in whatever field that they have gone to the universities to study. Do you know that you can teach? Do you know that you can teach a class of people to be able to earn an income? So why would you be waiting till you get employed in a company before you earn an income? All these while, if you've been thinking about which subject area you are good at, that you would like to teach a group of people who may be interested, and then you charge them small fee. Sometimes we want to go into business by thinking we want to make all the profit all at once. That is not right. Start by taking smaller fees. When you take smaller fees and you make an impact, that is when you graduate from the lower fees to the higher fees. But if nobody knows you and you want to just think, oh, because you are going to teach, let's say, for example, math. Math is a very difficult subject. So for anybody to enjoy my time for me teaching them math, I have to charge them, higher. You'll be making a big mistake. Charge smaller fee, and you see how many people will be running to you to learn from you, and also you in turn earn an income instead of sitting idle and waiting for jobs to come to you. So that is that about exchanging your time for money. You can always do something with your time to be able to generate an income. It's just that most people keep sitting around and not thinking, what can I do to be able to generate an income? That is how I ended up having multiple sources of income. I have multiple sources of income, and that will come along when I'm done with the 3 ways of making money in Ghana without your own capital. So exchanging your time with money. How much capital do you need to exchange your time with money? If you want to be a painter, listen, the one who wants his home or house to be beautiful would buy all the materials. And if you're a good business person, if you have all the skills of persuasion, they can even buy you the brushes and everything. You don't have to pay for the brushes. You tell them that, look, if you can buy the brushes and the paint and everything, I'll paint this whole house for you for a smaller fee than anybody who would charge you. So where is the capital you needed to be able to do such a thing? How much capital do you need to be able to organize some small extra classes for a group of students who need the kind of knowledge that you can impact in them? How much capital do you need? I can go on and on and on with a lot of things that you can do with your time that you can earn an income. So learn to exchange your time with money. Second, number 2, in the only 3 ways that I'm going to provide with you in this webinar is play the middleman for small businesses. Play the middleman for small businesses. Some people will call it betweener for businesses. What I mean by play the middleman for small businesses is you can be between the customer and a business owner, and you connect these 2 people together so that they can have business transactions. And at the end of the day, you being the one who linked these 2 people, you can always get commission from both sides. And it depends on some amount of work that you do to become a middleman for business. You have to do some research. And some of these research is what we have done over the years. And that when you listen to this webinar, or when you pay attention to whatever that we're saying, and you still missing some dots, you still missing some points in this webinar, you can always contact us for the details, and we'll provide you, because we cannot, say everything in this webinar, and at the end of the day, it's going to be boring. People need to go straight to the point. So playing the middleman, you have to do some amount of research to become the middleman in any business. If you don't know the customer who needs a particular item, how would you become a middleman? How would you connect a customer to anything? And if you don't know the kind of business that is out there that you can think about how to get them customers, what would you do? So being a middleman for business is another way of making money, but you need to do some research. You have to find businesses that have something valuable for to offer people. There are businesses all over the country, but you have to look for some businesses that offer value for money. Most people want value for money, so you can't go around just talking to any business person and say, oh, I want to connect some people to you so you can get more customers, and when you get more customers you give me commission on every customer that I bring to you. You have to look for that right business. It is not any kind of business that you can go to say you want to be the middleman. So you have to do that work. Now, some of the work is you build yourself. In marketing, it's all about confidence. If you don't have confidence, you cannot convince or persuade somebody to join any business, or you cannot, get someone to go and buy from another place. Okay, you have to build yourself. You have to, learn to be confident. You can practice with your friends. You can practice with your family, and you build that confidence, learning how to be persuasive and win people. These are all skills that you can learn. Okay, and we are willing to teach people who come into our world. Okay, these are some of the things that we've been doing over the years, and that's why we are exposing some of this information in bits to people, and then the hungry people, the quality people who want to know more would contact us, and we would further teach them more things about how to win and influence people to be able to take an action. Okay, all right. So you always start by, approaching businesses. If you want to be a middleman for a business, you always start by approaching businesses which have value for money, or which offer something of very important to people or customers. You go there and you make a proposition. After building yourself, you go to these businesses and make a proposition that, my name is so and so, and I'm into that, and I can get you more customers. I know a lot of people who need these items that you sell, but I want to strike a deal with you. Is it possible that you can, you can get me a commission on any customer that I bring to you? You got to talk things over. Not all people will say yes, but people who have also been sitting on their business for quite a long time, and it takes a long time for them to see customers, would like to work with you. So you go on negotiation terms, and then you try to, sign a small contract that, okay, you and I have agreed that any customer that I bring, you give me 5% of the sales, or you give me X amount of money for every customer that I bring to you. And once again, you have to be very reasonable. If you're not reasonable with your fees, that's where people begin to be like, oh no, I don't want any help like that. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. My customers come to me. But when you decided, for every customer you want that small amount of commission, somebody may be like, are you sure you can get me more customers? Okay, tell you what, for every customer you bring to me, I give you 5 cities. Hypothetically, if a business is, for every customer that you bring to me, I'll give you 5 cities. So if you bring 10 customers, that's 50 Ghana cities. And another example of running your own business without capital, being just a middleman, and you get commissions. And with this, you need to build yourself. You have to have that confidence. You have to have the knowledge about product. You have to have knowledge about how to get a customers. And this is a business you can also start in Ghana without a capital. So for number 2, you can see that I've mentioned 2 things that you don't need capital to be able to do that. Okay? Now, the last for this webinar is trading. I know some of you will be like, what is he talking about? Because you already know what trading is all about. Okay? We all know what trading is. But how many people have sat down to think about trading as a way of generating an income? This is the reason for this webinar. How many people constantly sit down and think, how can they go into trading and, end up becoming, generating an income and end up becoming financially free from all these hardship that you keep complaining? You're waiting on politicians, and politicians are not ready to listen to you. All right. So I know some of you will be like, What are you talking about? Trading has been here all these while. So what are you trying to say? All right, I'll tell you what. Now, with all due respect, I'm sorry. Most of you do not know what is trading, because in your life, all you know is you want to work and get paid. All right? So you have constantly been thinking that the only way to earn an income is what? To just go and get employed, work in a company, and then at the end of the day, when it's 30 days, they pay you salaries. But if you know trading, you will begin to work for yourself, and you'll be surprised how much money you make as compared to going to be on the grind, 9 to 5 job, 7 to 3 job, 8 o'clock to 4 p.m. jobs. And you would compare working for somebody and also working for yourself. You would compare the income levels and you will know the difference. Okay. Now, very simple. What is trade? Trade is the act of buying and selling goods and services. Period. That is all trade is all about. Buying and selling goods and services. So the answer to the quiz is right here. Okay? So for those of you who have been answering all this while, I saw, okay, yeah, Samuel. At this point, and the time is, okay, so at this point, we are not taking any more answers because 4:36. So by the timestamp, any answer that comes after this point is null and void. All the answers that came in from the past few weeks till now are the answers that we are taking. So that is it. Now, the answer to the quiz. Some of you did so well by trying your best to answer the quiz that what are the 2 elements that generate an income for all businesses all over the world. I really admire your efforts, but the 2 items are goods and services, or products and services. These are the 2 things that generate income for all businesses all over the world. When you get a proper understanding of these 2 elements, goods or products and services, you would decide to know what to do with your life from today. You can only make money if you have one of these to offer. You either have a good or product, or you have a service, and that's when you generate an income. Okay? And most people are sitting down waiting to get employed before they can earn an income. That's crazy. Honestly, that's crazy. Okay? Now, we'll go into these goods and services thing into detail when you meet with us one-on-one, or you contact us through our contact form from Buiness website. You go to buiness.com and you go to contact us form, fill it out, and then ask more questions on how you can generate money for yourself, or how you can generate an income for yourself through some of these 3 steps that I gave you. Now, trading. I do trading. As an IT specialist, working in the office and troubleshooting computer problems and solving network issues, I still trade. I'm not bigger or smaller than trading. Are you kidding me? I still trade. And I will tell you later on how or what I trade in, and you will be amazed. Okay? So now, you can always reach out to some of the businesses and request to be their salespersons by selling some of their goods and services for a commission. Once again, in this 3rd example, you do not need capital to do that. If you can be that honest guy, and you can be that fluent guy, and that guy who has that persona to be able to do some trade, there are businesses that want salespeople. So all you have to do is you contact businesses that, look, I can sell your products and you give me a commission for that. There are times where you have to have the product in your hand. There are times you don't need the product. For example, let's say someone has cement for sale, or what's United States they call cement. Let's say someone has cement for sale, okay? And you guys know a lot of construction has been going on in Ghana. People are building houses, even with the hardship in the economy. People constantly building, okay? And there are people who are also, selling these cements that most contractors or most masons need. If you go to a cement depot, or if you go to someone who deals in cement and you tell them that, look, I can get you customers and I want you to, strike a deal with me. If I get you customer, you can always get me something. All right. So you can in turn go somewhere and tell you that, look, I have supply for cement, and that if you need it, I can always supply you. And it comes at a very minimal fee as compared to, other people. You don't have cement, but because you confided in a business person who has a cement, you now talk like you have the business, and you don't need capital for that. It's just like, playing the middleman. But trading, you can also take some of the product. There are some products that some companies are willing to give you their products for you to go and sell. And whatever products or goods that you go out there to sell, you make commission off of that. You don't need capital to do these businesses. So trading, playing the middleman and exchanging your time for money, all these are major ways of making money if you know how. And in this webinar, we are glad to inform you that if you do not know how, and we cannot give you the details of everything within this short video, so if you do not know how, you can further contact us for more information. So trading is the old age business that most people are not paying attention to. If you pay attention to that part of business life, which we call trading, you would have a change of mindset, and your ways of thinking, oh, I have to get hired before I make an income, will forever change. Okay. Now, how do most of the businesses that you see around, how do they make their money? Every business you see around in this world do some trading, and before they do any trading, they need goods or services. They need some products or services. Okay? And that is why I am telling you that if you do not find out how or what you can trade in, you'll forever be waiting for jobs, and the jobs are not coming. The jobs are not coming, and I can tell you for sure, because we have been in the IT industry and we know the database that is ongoing with jobs, how jobs are closing up and how jobs are changing into computerization, and that human interventions are no longer required for business to run. Okay, most businesses offer goods and services to be able to generate an income. Without these two things, there's no business you can do on earth. When you go to the electricity company, they are trading something for money. What do you think they are trading? Power. They're trading power for money. If they don't have power to offer, who are they going to charge a bill? Okay? When you go to the market, the tomatoes seller is exchanging tomatoes for what? For money. Every business needs what? Do some trading. So it is the same way you as an individual watching me, if you want to make some money, you got to learn to trade. And there are so many items, and there are so many businesses out there that you can affiliate yourself with them and start trading. Okay? So, like I did mention, in this webinar, it was meant to be 7 ways to make money in Ghana without your own capital. But unfortunately, we can only do 3 because of the time factor, because we don't want to go beyond 45 minutes of your time, boring you with, with so much information that at the end of the day, information overload sometimes creates lack of interest in us. So with these 3 ways that I've mentioned, this is a recorded webinar. You can always go back and watch, as we have live people watching. Those who are taking notes are taking notes, but you can always go back and watch on our YouTube channel called Buditainment Show. You would always, play it back and then get some of the information that I've already talked about a few minutes ago. So every business needs to trade to be able to generate an income. You go to work at Lever Brothers, and then you are either there as an electrician, or you are either there as a factory hand, or you are either there as the chemical engineer, or whatever position that you can find yourself at Lever Brothers. Lever Brothers have to trade their products. If Lever Brothers do not trade their products, you don't get paid. So every business cannot live without trading. You as an insider think you get paid for reporting to work from morning and closing, and you think, oh, it's easy, I don't have to sell anything. But the company, your employer, have to sell something to be able to pay you. And this is why, if you learn what your employer is doing, if you can trade just like your employer is trading, you would become successful, and you would have to also hire some people over the time. Because Lever Brothers is able to hire you and pay you because they are trading some of their products. Soaps, Milo, milk. If they don't sell these products, they will never be able to pay you. So if you're in the company and you doing packaging, if you're in the company and you doing cleaning, and you think, oh, I don't have to be bothered with, however they make their money, I'm waiting for them to pay me. No, they have other workers who also help them to trade their goods. Okay, they have their truck drivers, they have their marketing team that go to stores and that goes to supermarkets and make deals and sell all, and supply them with their products. And when they get paid, you get paid. And this third example is one of the easiest way for you to be able to make money in Ghana. But you have to do some research work. And if you are finding it very difficult to do any research work on this, that is when we come in. We offer these free services by you contacting us, and we have various business models that we give out to people, and you can start your own business without any capital in Ghana. Most people who work with us will prove to us that they are capable of trading, because we have some business models that we teach people that if you're able to indulge in it for 6 months, you stand a chance of even getting smaller loans to be able to run your own business. Okay? So, for 3 ways to be able to make money in Ghana without capital. Number 1, what did I say? Number 1, I said you can exchange your time for money. And number 2, play the middleman for smaller businesses. And then number 3, do some trading. Okay? Do some trading. All right. I think my time is approaching so fast. I have about 7 more minutes to go. Now it's my turn to talk about how I generate an income. That's the icing on the cake. I want to tell people how to make money without capital. How do I make money? So it's my turn to explain to you. I cannot go a single day without making money. I don't care what the amount is. I don't care how much, I make in a day. But I cannot live without making an income in a day. You may not believe it, but every single day of my life, I make money. From Monday to Sunday. I'm not talking about making millions of dollars that would send you crazy, pimples all over your bodies. But I make enough money to be able to take care of my responsibilities. Okay? When you live on earth, you got to pay bills. You got to live well. You got to eat. I don't have to beg to do all these things. And it's the same way I wish for everyone out there. Because there are a lot of people who keep complaining and whining and crying, and they don't have money for food, their families are hungry and what have you. You got to find a way to make some money. No, nobody will give you any kind of free money. I don't know who has that kind of free money. I don't have free money to give. I can show you how to make money, but I don't have free money to give. When the least I can do is give people free airtime to listen to our webinar or look into our shows and learn how to, generate an income. Okay, so first off, I'm a computer network engineer by profession, like I mentioned earlier on, and I work as a network systems specialist. Okay, so that is my main source of income. All right, but when I look at the expense, or when I look at how much money I need to be able to live a better life, I decided to believe in earning extra income. Okay, so one thing I realized that most successful people have multiple sources of income. All the rich people you see around, or most people who would brag and tell you, "Oh, I have money, I can do this," they have what? Multiple sources of income. I've never seen any salary worker who turns into a millionaire overnight. There are salary workers who have become wealthy or who have become successful because they had to invest some of their salary into some business. They had to do something extra. So even though I had my main source of income as a network system specialist, I decided to do something extra. And I mentioned in some video in the past that I have 5 other ways of making money. And today, I'll reveal it to you. Okay. Number 1, I am an investor. Sometimes when you say the word investor, seems to people like it's a very big word. I am an investor. Okay? The word investor seems to most people like, oh, investor? Then you should be having some, stash of money somewhere. You can also be an investor. Okay? Now, I have invested money in some businesses that generate income for me. Very simple. I just invested in something with my money, and it's earning an income for me. And that's why I call myself I'm an investor. So that's one of the extra ways I'm making money. Okay? You can also be an investor, provided you have some money somewhere that you can put into something, and that's something to, be bringing you some income. So that's one of the ways that I make money aside my one main source of income. Now I am into drive share. I know most of you would not understand when I say I'm into drive share. Okay? I'm into drive share. What do I mean by I'm into drive share? I drive and make money when I have the least opportunity. When I have the chance to do so, I go driving. And what I mean by go driving is there are 2 major drive share companies in Ghana. I'm sorry. There are 2 major drive share companies in the States. We call it Uber and Lyft. And I know there's Uber in Ghana. But this is an area where you cannot easily go into because you need a car to be able to do that. I have a brand new car that I use for my luxury life, and at the same time, I earn an income from it. So at free time, if I go out there, I drive, I make a couple of dollars, 100, 150, and just come home. On weekends when I'm supposed to maybe chill at home and just, sit and do nothing, I can go driving. Okay? The third way of me making extra income for myself is I'm also a nutritional supplement distributor, and I've advertised on several occasions on my Facebook page. I'm a Herbalife distributor, nutrition distributor. I didn't go into this just because I wanted to go into it. I went into that because I needed to live well. I love to exercise, I love to eat well, and I needed anything that can help me, live a healthy lifestyle. So I had to go into Herbalife. Okay? And when I tried the product, I found out that the product were good. So I decided to also what? Join to become a distributor. This is not my company. I only signed up to become a distributor. I have a website. I push traffic to the website and people go to buy from my website. You can do the same thing. Okay? Now, the fourth way that I make money is also I'm a salesperson. I sell, and that is one of them I mentioned in the three above. Trading. I sell all kinds of dressing accessories from necklaces, anklets, wristwatches, various types of sunglasses, earrings, and many other dressing accessories. I have them sitting in my car. When I'm driving around, sometimes I tell some of my riders that, look, I do this on the side for hustle, so you can take a look at them. Some of them will take a look at it and they buy. So I am a salesperson. And then last but not the least, I'm a digital marketer. I help other smaller businesses to advertise on social media, and I get something small for doing so. So these are the 5 ways that I make aside my main source of what? Income. Okay? Why do I have to do all this? I do this because I cannot live a single day without making money. So just imagine, out of these 5 ways that I added to my main source of making money, which of them goes to sleep? If one end goes to sleep, the other end will just pick it up. Being an investor, I put in some few money into some businesses back home in Ghana, and it's generating an income. So, I don't have to be in Ghana to do that. Okay? And then I go out there to drive when I feel like going out there to drive. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be a long weekend. And a lot of people will be moving up and down. And if you have a car, you can drive for Uber and you can easily make $500 from Friday all the way to Monday. Monday is a holiday here because it's Memorial Day, okay? And being a Herbalife distributor, about what I have, I talk about the products, and at the end of the day, what happens is we still have, people go to the website and buy the products. And being a digital marketer, we go and contact people. I can help you advertise on Facebook, and if you can give me some small fee, I can promote, your business for you on Facebook. Okay? All right. So that is that about me and how I make extra income. And for those of you in Ghana, if you want to make extra income, if you want to find a side hustle, if you want to learn how to make money on the side without your own capital, you can always contact us at bullytainment.com. Fill the contact us tab, and we will get back to you and assist you all the way through. All right. Now you can keep the questions coming because I see most questions are coming. We'll be responding to them. So do not hesitate to ask every question in the comment line. Go to our YouTube channel. If you missed the opportunity to register for the webinar, you can go to our YouTube channel and you can also watch the entire webinar over there. I really do appreciate for the guys who took the time to register and sign up with me and enjoy this live webinar. And I would be more than happy to help anyone willing and hungry for information on running their own business in Ghana with no capital. Thank you guys for joining me in this live webinar. It was my pleasure.